coming up in court today.
She was going through my bank account like it was a...
Our children
How
are
much
close.
money was she spending?
She was spending over $1,000 a week.
$1,000 a week on what?
I don't think it was for daycare.
In the court system, justice is not always just. That's why they bring their disputes here. Real people, real problems, real justice. Justice is eye for an eye.
The plaintiff claims that her husband's mother promised her a ring after staying married to him for 5 full years. The defendant explains the plaintiff is a gold digger and just wants more money.
I'm here suing my ex-husband for a ring that his mother has promised to me. I know Judge Akim will weigh the facts and know that I deserve this ring.
I'm a defendant, and my ex-wife is trying to take a ring that belonged to my mother. They've been in my family for years. It's a valuable ring. It's gonna go to my daughter. All rise!
Gina Jackson, you're suing Frank Jones, your ex-husband, for a valuable ring that was promised to you as a gift for your loyalty in the marriage. That you were supposed to get this ring if you stayed with him for 5 years, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Jones, you're saying Miss Jackson is a self-admitted gold digger who was never faithful to you, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're saying that she doesn't deserve the ring.
She really doesn't.
Okay, go ahead and tell me your case, Miss Jackson.
Your Honor, I have spent 5 years with this man. I have been faithful. I've put up
Faithful?
with
You've
his...
never been faithful to me.
Excuse me. I've put up with his bratty kids. I've done everything.
What about your
he's
son
asked.
who's 14 years old?
We
Stole my car.
Go ahead and go ahead. And so you were married for how many years?
5 years, sir.
5 years. So you stayed...
Faithful. I felt more, I tried to be a mother to his kids. I felt like more like a maid. He called himself gonna whisk me up and he lied to me. He said he was, well, he is a doctor, but he said he had lots of money.
Is that all you
And-
wanted, more money?
Is that why you married him?
No, that's not why I
Yeah, that's why she married him.
specifically for money.
Yeah, she's lying.
Specifically for money. So
No.
it was,
Good to
it was
her.
one of your...
He promised me that he would take care of me. He wanted to merge
So
the
prior
family.
to you get married, he
That's how
promised
you
to take
promised
care
to
of
take
you.
care of me?
And one of the factors was the fact that he had money. Is that correct?
Well, he
Right.
dressed all fancy and everything. No, that's not the reason.
Okay, well, go ahead. Tell me about the marriage.
Actually, I've taken care of his kids. I've done everything he's asked me. I put up with his intense sexual
You can't
ways.
take care of my kids at the
Wants me to-
club.
because he's a doctor, he wants me to dress up like a nurse all the time. And I'm like, and I put up with this.
That's a sad case.
And his mother even feels that I am a true woman to him, a
Mother
wife
didn't
and a
even
mother
like
to
you.
his
Come on,
kids.
let me hear from you.
Sir?
She says she put up with her ways, that you're a doctor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you practicing now?
Well, right now I'm on the practice.
Okay, well, tell me about it.
Well, she knew that I had a degree, and she knew I was in practice, and she knew I just recently had a wife that's passed.
Right.
And it's not even been 6 years, and I married her because she was a sweet person at the time, I thought. But then
Still am.
later on, her and my mother began to talk, and I thought this was a situation between me and her, but she was offered a ring. She says she was never offered this ring.
Well,
It's a
during the
$10
marriage, tell me
ring.
about it. Was she faithful to you during the marriage?
No.
Yes, I was.
Tell me what you know.
She knew I was impotent.
You're
How?
what?
She knew I was impotent.
And
How
I
could
was
she be faithful?
Oh, you're impotent.
She was never at home.
So, was there an accident that causes for you
Yes,
to
we
become
were in an
impotent?
accident. And,
Okay, tell me about the accident.
Well, it was kind of slick and rain one night, and we kind of hit a tree.
Who, you and your wife that died?
Me and my wife, yes, sir.
Okay, and what happened to you?
I had amputation in the process.
Okay, so you had amputation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so, and then you met this woman?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and tell me about when you met her.
I met her 6 years ago at a daycare center.
Okay.
She was taking care of my children. I
Right.
had, at the time, my babies were,
Okay, go ahead.
well, now there are 8 and 9.
Okay.
And when I met her, she was a sweet person, I thought.
Well, tell me about during the marriage. How do you know she was unfaithful?
Well, she was never at home. You know,
Right.
she was taking care of me at first for about the first 2 or 3 years. And then she started beginning to take off and leave at night. And,
Never at home. Who
she
do you
said
think
she was
you doing
going
all the house
out with the
cleaning,
friends, but she was
shopping?
actually clubbing. And I could have, I never thought she was messing off on me.
Okay, were you having affairs on him while y'all were married?
Yes, she
I was not.
So you remained faithful to him for 5 years?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, how can she be faithful to me when I find stuff in the car?
Like what'd you find in the
wallets,
car?
men's wallets, stuff like that.
What did you find? Other men's wallets?
Yes, sir.
What else did you find?
Well, a lot of times I find different perfume smells in my car from men.
Right.
And I know it wasn't mine,
Right.
you know? So she just kept things going on from time to time.
So, man,
That is-
why did you stay in the marriage? Did you stay in it just because he was a doctor and made a good living?
No, I stayed in.
Yeah, that's why she stayed with me.
To help him through his illness. I stayed because
She was going through
our
my bank
families,
account like it was a,
our
you know,
children
How
are
much
close.
money was she spending?
She was spending over $1,000 a week.
$1,000 a week on what?
I don't think it was for daycare.
You don't think it was daycare? What was it on personal stuff? Is that true?
Clubs, friends, you know.
Early on, it's
relatives,
marriage. We were
family
making a new
members.
life. We got everything. We
So you
getting out
admit
the-
you were spending about $1,000 a week of his money.
We had a good time together.
Well, it
How can
sounds
we
like from
have
what
a
he
good time
says, you
together
might have been
going
having a good
out?
time with some other men, too.
No.
Okay.
The plaintiff is suing for her in-law's gold ring. The defendant claims the plaintiff just wants more money.
Mr. Jones, how much money do you think she went through?
I'm sure she went over a little bit over $30,000.
$30,000?
Yeah, in the 5 years.
Well, that's not that much.
not
I
a
mean, you
lot.
think...
It's a lot of money to me.
Okay,
That
not
you know of? I mean,
making
is your
anything like he
savings... Did you
lied
have a
and said.
savings
Take care of
prior?
my 2 children, too, you know.
Okay, did you have a savings prior to getting married?
Yes, sir.
And now it's all gone?
It's all
Okay,
gone.
well, tell me about this ring that she's suing that she wants.
It's the ring that my mother had through our family.
Okay.
And it's over $10,000. And she
It's
wants
worth
this
over
ring.
$10,000. Big Sugar Ray, go get that ring and let me see it. So that was your mother's ring, and ma'am, you want the mother's ring?
The mom promised me the ring after
That's what
5
gold
years.
diggers
If
want.
if I
Money.
take care of her son, her grandchildren, which I have done, be a faithful wife, which I have proven.
So you think that ring's gonna take care of you now?
It's a gift that she promised me. Your mom
That was
like
between you and my mom.
You
So your
the one
mom's
that don't
your
wanna-
mom's deceased now?
He's the one that don't want to
Okay.
give the ring up.
And-
He's the one that don't want to give it up.
Well, ma'am, you had a good time with all that money. Now you want the ring too?
We had
wants
a good
everything.
Time. We had a good time together.
Well, it
How can
sounds
we
like from
have
what
a
he
good time
says, you
together?
might have been
You're
having a
going
good
out.
time with some other men too.
No.
Hey. My point is exactly.
I mean, ma'am, you knew when you married him that that he was impotent, and that and you said yourself that one of the reasons you were marrying him was the fact that he had money and that he dressed nice, and you thought he could support
you.
you.
And he was trying to impress me.
Let me ask you something. If the man was living at welfare, if he was on welfare and living at the homeless shelter, would you have married him?
No.
Just the same. Just the same. It's not
Yeah.
about the money.
Yeah.
I would have married him just the same.
So where
All
are you
right.
now?
Well, you've come to me to ask who deserves the ring, so I'll be back in a second with my decision and let you know. Thanks.
What did your mother's will say about the disposition of the ring?
There was no will on the ring between my mother and her. It was verbal.
My question is for the plaintiff. You got the engagement ring, you got the wedding ring. Why do you need the mother's ring?
Because the mother promised me the ring.
All rise!
Ma'am and sir, I've been doing this for a long time, and I can tell when people are lying. And in this case, ma'am, I think you're lying.
Thank you, Judge.
I think you went into this marriage because he had money and that you wanted him to support you, and I think you've been milking him the whole marriage. So, ma'am, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to get this ring. So, what we're gonna do is, since I think she's been milking him the whole marriage, I want you to take her outside, and I've got a cow out there. If she can get milk from this cow, she'll get the ring, okay? So take
Good
her
deal.
outside. Take her on out. If she doesn't get the milk, you get the ring back, and it's yours forever, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Take her on out. Okay, ma'am. I want you to get down there, and I want you, if you milk the cow, you get the ring. So, ma'am, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to get this ring. So, what we're gonna do is, since I think she's been milking him the whole marriage, I want you to take her outside, and I've got a cow out there. If she can get milk from this cow, she'll get the ring. Big Sugar Ray, you have her? Put her in the chair, okay?
Put her on the chair. Come on, right here. There you go.
Okay, bring the animal over. Okay, ma'am. I want you to get down there, and I want you, if you milk the cow, you get the ring.
Judge, this cow has no udders.
What's that?
The cow has no udders.
Well, I guess we finally found something you can't milk.
Adam teach you about milking, man.
Sir, I guess the ring's yours. Ma'am, sorry, you didn't get any milk out of that cow, so you don't get the ring. It goes back to your ex-husband. Next case.
The plaintiff is suing her neighbor after a sleepover pillow fight turned dangerous, injuring her 11-year-old son. The defendant claims the pillow fight was supervised by his 17-year-old son and that he personally can't be held responsible.
All right, Diana McCormick, you are suing Paul Jacobs for $232.58 for when your son, your 11-year-old son, went to his house to for a sleepover, and his 17-year-old son joined in the pillow fight and hurt your son and caused $232.58 worth of damage, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Jacobs, you're saying that they were having a pillow fight and it's not your son's fault, the 17-year-old, that the boy got hurt.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Go ahead, Ms. McCormick.
Well, I should have followed my first mind. My son, Frank, really wanted to go to this sleepover. His friends were going, and I trust my son. And his friends, I'm friends with their parents.
Okay.
So I let him go over there.
He wanted to come.
Okay.
See,
and you have an 11-year-old son, too?
I got an 11-year-old
Okay.
son. Listen, I got 2 sons, Your Honor. And
Well, I'm speaking right now, so I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
It's my turn. It's my
Go
time
ahead.
to
Let
talk.
us speak.
Okay.
So he spit?
His son, 17 years old.
Right.
At that age, you should be able to babysit, true enough. But when you're a babysitter and you got
they are not
10,
babies, Your Honor.
11-year-old
They are not babies.
children.
11-year-olds.
Children.
Okay, okay, let her tell the story.
Speaking.
Let her tell the story.
Let me speak.
Okay, so your 11-year-old went over there to spend the night with his 11-year-old son,
Right.
and other boys were there.
Right.
And what happened? The 17-year-old was babysitting?
Well, listen, Your Honor, I was gone for about an hour. My 17-year-old.
An hour?
I got two sons. I raised these kids by myself.
Okay, okay.
I'm always
do it
there for
every
my
day?
kids.
So you were gone, and you
I'm
left the
always there.
17-year-old?
My 17-year-old was there. He's very superficial. He supervises real well. And at any rate, there's 11 kids there. There's 12 kids there. They're all 11 years old. Her son's the only one that was whining. They had a pillow fight.
My son was the only one got hit
pillow
upside the
fight.
head with a pillow.
They all had a pillow fight. We're all playing.
Blood vessel burst in the eyes.
My kids play football. They hit hard. This was a pillow fight.
Okay.
17-year-old.
Well, did your 17-year-old, did he participate in the pillow fight, too?
Well, yeah, well, you know.
Was any a little too old to be participating with a bunch of 11-years-olds?
Yes, he is.
Older kids always
Yes, he is.
pick on their
Whatever.
little brothers and their friends. It's a game. It's
17-year-old.
They were at a party. They were at the house. They know basically not to
Okay,
get
well,
into
tell me
it.
what happened to your son.
Well, he didn't actually want a pillow fight. He said he just sat there.
He's a wimp.
17, whatever.
whiner.
Whatever. You sound ignorant right now. But I'm speaking right now. Please talk to the hand. Well, anyway, my child was there. He did not want a pillow fight. Travis is 17 years old.
Right.
My child is 11. He hit my child in the head a few times. My child came in at home with bruises on his body also.
Right.
All the kids had bruises.
I'm gonna tell you, your 2 sons are bad. Your 2 sons are bullies. All they do is fight other kids, and every day there's a fight in the neighborhood.
Okay,
Every
listen,
day.
let me ask you, what injuries did he have? You got the medical
Yes,
bill?
I do, sir.
Okay, give me that Big Sugar Ray.
Okay. There you go, sir.
Thank you. And tell me what your son said when he got home.
His feelings were hurt, his pride was hurt. For one thing, they laughed, the older boy laughed at him. He's afraid of your son, Travis. 11 years old, he got a right to be. Those kids are bullies. I don't think he need to be out in society. Travis
out
needs
of
to be in
12
jail
kids,
somewhere. He need to be in
all
juvenile.
Those kids were making fun of him because he's whining. He whined. Even after I came back, he whined a half hour.
Another thing,
after the
and
whole
you didn't
thing was
console
over.
my child? If he was whining or crying, you know he was hurt, you didn't
After
console
we
him?
found out.
Well,
after
I've
I
got
found
here on
out
the
the
medical
whole
bill that he
story.
was bleeding. Was he bleeding?
Yes, he was.
What did he?
Blood vessel burst in his eyes. Blood vessel burst in his eyes.
it's right here on the medical bill, so he must have had some problems from while you were gone.
Listen.
He came home drunk as a skunk, and he was gone more
Drunk?
than an hour.
Drunk? Did you come back drunk? How do you know he came back drunk?
My son told me.
I was going an hour
and a few
a half.
friends in the neighborhood was at the same bar he was at. He was gone past an hour. He was there 3 hours.
Going an hour and a half.
So what you were doing, sitting at the bar?
Now it's an hour and a half. You told me an hour a few minutes ago.
Oh, you was at the bar eating peanuts, right? Okay, then. Peanuts and Dr. Pepper.
So,
I'm sorry.
You told me an hour a minute ago. Now it's an hour and a half. She tells me that they said you were gone 3 hours. You came back drunk.
I'm there for my sons. I raised my sons by myself. There's no
women do that every day. You're not special. You are not
That's
special.
true. She's got a good point. Women are doing that every day.
Maybe her son needs more of a man around his
My
house.
husband is a man.
God.
He raised. My child does not.
He's constantly whining.
I don't smoke
So you're
around my
saying it's her
child.
11-year-old son's fault that he got hit by your 17-year-old? Why was your 17-year-old even in the pillow fight? He's supposed to be watching
He
him.
didn't hold a gun to his head to ask him to come to the party. He wanted to come to the party.
Do you think there was any problem your 17-year-old being in the pillow fight?
No, it's just
Big
fun.
problem.
It's just a fun thing. If I was
These
there,
kids are
Okay, what
11
about
years
the
old.
porno tapes? What about that?
porno.
Why do you have porno tapes around for kids to get to?
What? Tell me this. Tell me, what about the porno tapes?
Okay, his son put pornos on.
What?
My son say he saw body parts, women and men,
Yana,
men
they
and
watch-
The
whatever.
17-year-old?
They watched R-rated cable.
R-rated?
Oh, hush.
Porno flick.
Hush.
Oh, R-rated.
And you don't see any problem with that?
Well, my son's 17.
He's not 18. When you go to an adult
Man,
movie, you have to be 18.
Let me ask you something. When you allowed your son to go over there, did you know he was going to leave for an hour and a half to 3 hours?
No, I did not.
Did you think there would be a responsible parent
Listen,
there?
it's a
It was not
sleepover.
responsible. He's not responsible.
I mean, would
It's
you
a
have sent him if you
sleepover.
knew the 17-year-old was going to be watching
I would
him?
not have.
All right, well, I think I know what's going on here. First of all, sir, when other people entrust their children to you, you are responsible as the parents. If you say that they can come over...
Thank you. Thank you.
It's your responsibility when they come to your house, and you're responsible for them. So, ma'am, I am going to award you the $232.58.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Justice has been served.
So,
Thank
sir,
you.
you're going to have to pay it. Do you have the money here today?
Well, not today, sir.
Oh, my goodness. Well, sir, this is what I'm going to do. I'll give you one opportunity to get out of paying this money, okay?
Okay.
Since this all started over pillow fights, do you think if I put you in a pillow fight, if you win, then you don't have to pay the money? Would you agree to that?
Okay, yeah, I'll get in a pillow fight.
Okay, and would you agree that I get to pick any person I want to have the pillow fight with you?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, then the person I'm gonna pick is the former middleweight boxing champion of the world. How about that?
That you see how it
His
feels.
name is Big Sugar Ray Phillips, and he's standing right over there. He's my contestant. If I win, you gotta pay the money. If you win, you don't have to pay the money. All right, Big Sugar Ray, let's have a pillow fight between you and this man. Take him right on outside. Let's do it. Let's go. Okay, guys ready? On your mark, get set, go. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, then the person I'm gonna pick is the former middleweight boxing champion of the world. How about that?
That you see how it
His
feels.
name is Big Sugar Ray Phillips, and he's standing right over there. He's my contestant. If I win, you gotta pay the money. If you win, you don't have to pay the money. Okay, guys ready? On your mark, get set, go. Ding, 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 ding.
This is a film.
Okay.
You gonna do right? Sit down now. Sit down now. Let me hit you in that body. There you go. All right. That's it. Submit then. Submit.
All right.
Big Sugar Ray Phillips whooping. Let's go.
All right.
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Big Sugar Ray Phillips whooping.
The winner
Let's go.
is still undefeated champion, pillow champion of the world, Big Sugar Ray Phillips.
Justice has been served today. I feel that my son should be able to play with his friends, have sleepovers and everything. He shouldn't be bullied, hit with pillows, cut in the forehead. Any of that. I believe justice has been served.
I didn't think it was gonna go that way, but
You know, Judge Akim ruled in her favor, and I didn't think I was wrong. I stand behind my kids.
Today's second case dealt with parental negligence. You can be legally liable if you allow minors in your house and they get hurt because of your negligence. If your children do get hurt, don't get revenge. Bring them to my court.